Dawn, special guest. Dawn Nesbitt is here with us. She has agreed to come on and talk to you guys about her experiences with TimberScan, and we are very, very grateful to have her. So I will turn it over to you, Dawn, and controls are yours.
Thanks, Emily, and thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
All right, a little introduction, a little bit about me, and I'm going to preface this with, it's been really quiet here all morning, but all of a sudden it's not. I live, as you see here, in Clinton, Utah, which is about a mile from Hill Air Force Base, where they house the F-35. So if you hear the sound of freedom behind me, I can't control that, but we'll work around it. So as Emily said, my name is Dawn Nesbitt. I am married with 3 grown boys and have 3.5 absolutely perfect grandchildren. I live in Clinton, Utah, been with R&O Construction and on Sage 300 CRE, Timberline, it will always be Timberline to me, for 25 years. I am the current president of TUG, the users group for Sage Construction and Real Estate Solutions. A little bit about R&O Construction. We're a $315 million a year GC based out of Ogden, Utah. We have offices in Las Vegas, Nevada, and in Salt Lake, Utah. We are currently celebrating our 40-year anniversary, and we have been using a paper-free solution since 2001 and converted to TimberScan in 2019. So TimberScan for R&O. Why did we choose TimberScan? Well, first, let's go back in time and say, why did we go paper-free? Well, at the time, 20 years ago, the president of the company went to a trade show, and he was walking around this trade show and saw all these different booths, and he happened to see a picture very similar to the one on the screen. And he walked up to the booth and said, "Why do you have a picture of my area? This is my, storage area." And started chatting with them, and before we knew it, he bought the product, brought it home, and told us to make it work. Didn't even understand how it worked, just said, "Make this work." So we've been using it for quite some time. Somewhat satisfied with it. It fit our needs. So why did we leave the old system? Well, the old system was purchased by Sage's largest competitor, and they said they were going to continue to support it, but of course we knew that time would come when they would say, "No, we're not going to support Sage users anymore." So we began looking for another product. So back to the question, why did we choose TimberScan? 3 really good reasons why we chose TimberScan. The first was the look and feel. The look and the feel of the product was very similar to what we had. So I knew it would be a very easy conversion for our project managers, who are the hardest ones to get on board, at least at my company. So I knew with the look and feel, looking and feeling the same, was going to be an easier conversion. The second reason was I already had a really great relationship with TimberScan. They have been big supporters of TUG as long as I've been involved with TUG. And so I already knew a lot of the key players and had already built a pretty good relationship with them. And the third reason is the company itself, Core, it's big enough, but it's not too big. So they're big enough to have this product and support this product and keep it going and rolling and keep adding stuff to it. But they're not so big that they don't listen to their clients. They listen to us when we see something in the software that says, "Oh, boy, this would be cool." They are willing to listen to it, and it doesn't take a year to get that rolled into the software like you'll see with larger companies. So that's why we're on TimberScan. So the benefits of getting rid of paper. Well, obviously, if you look at the cabinet here, at the picture here, no more file cabinets, no more searching through cabinets and boxes looking for documents, which, they always get put right back in the box, and the drawers are always shut and everything's filed correctly when they go back. No more lost invoices. I mean, I remember the days we would route invoices to our project managers and it would never come back to accounting. So we would reroute it. I mean, these are physical papers you're sending to your project managers, and it would never come back to accounting. Well, come to find out, they were filing it in their garbage can in their room because their response was, I'm not paying this, and threw it away. Well, how do we know that in accounting? So it eliminates that happening anymore. They cannot file it in their garbage can. The turnaround time in coding invoices and getting everything in the system and paid it vastly improved when you get rid of paper. And one of the biggest reasons is the independence of the users. So no more of the people coming down to accounting wanted to know, where is this invoice paid? Where is this invoice? Can I get a copy of this check? Is it paid? What's the check number? All of this information is now right there on their own computers. They can see it whenever they want to. So next we got how we use TimberScan. Right now we're mainly using it for our AP invoice routing and approval, which is where most people jump in. And we're currently implementing the Core Cloud Systems credit card. So I will keep you updated on how that's going. So I decided I'm going to cover just a couple of my favorite features that might not be well known to everyone in TimberScan. And the first one I'm going to touch on is using the Sage AP authorization to automatically assign the route in TimberScan. I found as I've been, I'm involved with TUG, of course, and we do some classes, some webinars, and I have people asking, where do I set this up? Where do I do it? And I found that some of the existing TimberScan users don't know that this exists. Maybe it was added after you've already got the software implemented, or maybe you chose not to implement this when you first signed up. But it has proven to be a very, very valuable resource here for us. So let me start with when we first switched to TimberScan, the system that we came out off of, we did what I call ad hoc routing. So we would route to, Don is going to route to John, or Don is going to, and then John can route it to Carol, and then Carol can route it to whomever. But the problem with that is these invoices would keep getting routed back and forth to the wrong people. It wasn't going to the correct route. So when we first switched to TimberScan, I was really nervous about setting up routes because we were so used to this ad hoc routing and thought everyone's going to have issues with it. It's not going to work. It's going to be hard. I was really concerned about the time it was going to take to establish these routes and maintain these routes. Someone has to maintain the route. So once we jumped in and saw the product, I realized it's very easy. I mean, utilizing the AP authorization in accounts payable in Sage, you're able to set up the same IDs and the same named routes in the authorization setup in AP in Sage. Then when the person goes in and sets up the job, we've made it part of our job setup process that the route is automatically assigned as soon as the job is set up. So it's not like someone had to go back into TimberScan and assign the route. The route is assigned when the job is set up. So this is in Job Setup in Sage under the AP and GL tab, and you just select from the list you created over here, and now TimberScan knows, because we've already set it up over in TimberScan, the route was set up, we've added job authorization as one of the types of routes we're going to utilize, and we've said that this route equals the job authorization code. Now it knows every time we code something to that particular job, it will automatically go to the correct route. And we have, of course, if the route doesn't get set up, of course, it's going to go to the default person, which is myself. And of course, that triggers me to say, oh, wait, maybe we added a small job or we added something new so that the route isn't set up yet. Now I know I have to go set up the route. So this has really been a great feature, I believe, in TimberScan, and I hope everyone's utilizing it. And I'm sure if you have questions on how to set that up, there is a piece that has to be turned on in your settings by your admin before you can start utilizing it. So I believe it will be covered, or you can ask the question and it will get answered on how to do that. All right. My second favorite feature in TimberScan is using the desktop for PMs to approve invoices. I think this is an underutilized area of the product. I don't think a lot of people think to use it. They automatically go to approve and approve invoices and then filter it based on that information. But, you know, if you're a very visual person, then coming in here and actually seeing, here's a list of all the jobs that I have invoices open for, and here's a list of the invoices. I can see which invoices I have sitting out there in my waiting, in my queue. So if your project managers are anything like my project managers, they don't code all of their invoices in one day. And most of the time, they're going to sit on their subcontractor invoices until the pay-up's approved, until their work is completed on site. Whatever reason, the project manager is going to sit on maybe some sub-invoices. But we've taught them we have to have what we call regulars coded at least weekly. So your job trailer, your utilities, your temp labor, all of those things that we want to get paid, your materials, so you can get discounts. We need those coded quickly. So instead of them going in through the other process of approve invoices and then having to go through and say, no, I don't want to code that one next. Don't want to code that one next. Oh, I'm going to approve this one. They can come in here and select which ones they want to approve. You can sort by vendor. You can sort by any of the fields here. But they can come in here and go, okay, yeah, that one there I want to do. This one here I want to do. Oh, wait, this one down here I want to do. And you just select the ones you want to do and hit edit invoice. Or, for example, accounts payable calls them and says, you've got this temp labor invoice sitting in your waiting. You've got to code it. It's easy to, you already have your desktop open. You just flip to that job. Oh, there it is. Just edit that single invoice right here. Now, you can turn off the right to approve from here. That I have unlimited rights. That's why I can approve it without ever seeing it. But you can turn that off for the approvers, so they have to open it and check the coding. Another thing that I like about using this is, as you can see, I have invoices on hold. If I want to see why it's on hold, I can quickly just come in here. I can hit comments, and it will tell me why it's on hold. So it's easy to remember, oh, yeah, that's a retention draw, or oh, that they're going to revise that, or whatever the reason is, it can be easily, the comments can easily be seen from here. There are a couple of things that I've put some enhancement requests in. As you can see, well, this one here doesn't show, but if I go to my live data, you'll see it only shows 9 jobs. So if you had more than 9 jobs, it has a tab called Other, and the ones with the least amount of invoices get pulled there. But hoping to get that resolved, and so that we can have unlimited jobs here. And or let's say maybe you only code overhead invoices. This bar right here on the right-hand side, when you click on it, you can select other dashboards. So if you do accounts, maybe you do overhead invoices, you can have it show by vendor. So it would list all of the vendors over here. And then you could do the same thing. Select the vendor, go in and select the 1 or 2 invoices, and hit edit invoice. See if there's anything else I wanted to cover on this. Sort select. That's about it I wanted to show on this. I think it's an underutilized product, or piece of the product, because I can visually see. Oh, I did want to show that you can flip over here. When you first open this, you're going to see, like in the web-based product, the invoice picture, and I wanted to see it in a list format, so I just switch it over to grid, and then it shows them this way. So, suggestions for other users based on your successes and challenges with AP processing. Number one thing, especially if you're new to a paperless product or paper-free product, get buy-in from the top. If it's not pushed from the top down, it's really hard to enforce. So getting buy-in from the top down is very critical. Number two would be trust the system. And I feel that way about even Sage software. A lot of times I'll have people say, well, that's wrong. The system lost it. It's gone. The system did this. The system did that. 99% of the time, it's human error. And something maybe was set up wrong in the route, or something was set up wrong somewhere. And once you correct that, then the future is going to be lovely, and you're not going to have that issue anymore. So trust the system. Trust the system one step further, in that if you're especially new to paper free, the invoices are going to be there. The paper is going to be there on the screen. They're not going away. So you don't have to keep 6 months worth of invoices in your filing cabinet. We found we keep them for 30 days and rotate them out. At the end of the month, throw them away. And we maybe have 2 times that we'll have to go back to, and that's pushing it, go back to the actual hard copy and say, oh, I couldn't read it, or, oh, I just need a copy of the hard copy. Whatever the reason is, maybe 2 times a month tops, and that's high. Most of the time, we never go back to the paper again. So trust the system. All of your papers are still going to be there. Another big one, always be on the lookout for better processes or workflows. This whole Core Live event is a perfect place to see that. There are a ton of new processes, or new to you processes, that you can jump on and start utilizing. And workflows. We tend to get stuck in this is the way we've always done it. Now let's make the system work the way that we've always done it. And that may not be the most efficient way to utilize the system, and or to even be doing the job, just because that's the way you've always done it. I mean, that's become a joke at my company, is that's the answer to everything. Well, why did you do that? Well, that's the way we've always done it, and so always be on the lookout and keep an open mind. I mean, work through a process. If you see something and think, wow, I wonder if that would work better, work through the process and see if it would be a better workflow for you. And look at the new products that are being offered and the new everything. We're constantly being barraged with new stuff. It doesn't hurt to take a look at it and go, yeah, that's going to help us, or, ooh, we're not quite ready for that, or, yeah, we're jumping on board, or no, we don't utilize that. Whatever it is, just always keep a pulse of what's going on out there. If you want to chat about TimberScan, core products, Sage 300 CRE, or need any additional information about TUG, the users group, my email is here, and I am more than willing to talk to everyone about it. I'm going to take a second and do a TUG plug. So TUG is a users group for all of the Sage 300, 100 estimating project management products. We're users helping users. We have free webinars and TUG Pulse that comes out once a month that has articles, and we have a question and answer site where you can throw a question out and people will answer. It's just a place where users can meet. We have an annual conference when we don't have COVID. We'll see. Next year we are having one in May in Las Vegas. Cross our fingers. So we meet live and help each other out and get to meet other people, put names with faces. And we also get to interact with Sage. Sage people are there. So you start making connections with Sage people. And that's one of the biggest things I've gained from TUG, is probably having those contacts right directly with Sage for my accounting software. And of course, meeting people like the core people. That's all I have. Emily, thanks everybody. Questions?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dawn. You ended on a really cool point. There is a plethora of intelligence and expertise at your fingertips, especially here today. We've got a current client with us. We have so much of our staff, and a lot of our staff are certified Sage experts. And we have, past lives too. There's a lot of CPAs on staff here, project accountants, you name it, we're probably logged in here today. So it's a great point. And the TUG experience, there's nothing like it. We're trying here today, but they have regional, national conferences, lots of resources online. They're on social. If you ever want to reach out, there's somebody that's always attentive to help there. But they offer a lot of educational sessions too. We try to participate as a vendor here and there. But yeah, there's so much information at your fingertips. And if you can't find somebody that does something exactly the same way that you do, maybe there's a better solution. Maybe you're offering your expertise to other people. So it's one of the things we've been toying around here is coming up with a TimberScan users group. We're thinking about the best way to do that without, troubling your time or taking more of your time than we already have. But on that note, we have 8 more minutes here with Dawn. So I urge you, while she's logged in here, to ask any questions that you might have, particularly for your counterpart, Dawn. I think there was one that came in that Jean was answering. Let me throw my Q&A over here. I can read it for you. I saw her answer. Yep. She said, does this feature need to be turned on? I have no invoices showing in my TimberScan. And I forget what that was in reference to. It was 4 minutes ago, so it was towards the end, Dawn. She said, does this feature need to be turned on? I have no invoices showing in my TimberScan. I can read you Jean's answer.
Okay.
She said, the approver final review dashboard displays invoices in your queue. Go to File, Show Dashboard. It will be empty if no invoices are there. If you have invoices, then click on the green bar on the left, select which widgets to display. If you need assistance, log a case with one of us. Does that sound like what you do?
So yes, if you don't have invoices in your queue, this is looking at your invoices on hold, waiting, then they won't show up in there. That's why I really say focus it toward project managers, because that is their mentality. By job, then you can sort it by vendor, then they can decide whether it's going to be a what I call a regular invoice or a sub invoice. They can decide right here which ones they want to approve. So these are all the invoices I have waiting in my queue.
Okay, and that's the dashboard widget. Got it. Yeah.
We will be introducing we're calling a management dashboard. It is on our roadmap to do that. And that's going to be more of a view only type of widgets and pie charts to be able to see where your invoices are by user, by job, by vendor, like we have today, but it's going to be more across company view. But as Dawn and Jean mentioned in her answer, it is today just for approvals and final review. There's a show data entry as well. Do you use that, Dawn? Do your AP people use that?
Use what now?
The show data entry dashboard, so to speak?
Mm-mm.
So under File, there's a button that says Show Data Entry.
Okay.
The exit button. And like you saw a little bit on TimberScan Go, where you had those card views showing the invoices that are currently in your queue, that's similar for the desktop version, where you could see 3 card views of invoices in your entry queue, 3 at a time. And that does give you a quick way to flip through your queue 3 at a time. And if you find an invoice that you need to enter right away, there's a little checkbox at the bottom that you can check, and then it'll take you right into the entry screen for those particular invoices that you selected. So it's both a card view and quick direct access to specific invoices. So Show Data Entry is just for those people who are part of an entry group, and Dashboard, like Dawn said, for for approvers and final reviewers.
We'll have to go take a look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a couple more in here, and our team is answering them directly, but Dawn, are you using POIV and Sage? Is TimberScan used for just routing for approvals?
We are not using POIV and Sage. So yes, we are just using it for routing and approvals.
Right. And can you tell me where I can shut off the desktop approval for my PMs? So they must look at the invoice to approve them from the list.
Right. So there are companies who don't like the dashboard. There's many people that do, but sometimes the reasons they don't is because it's a quick approval. And they sometimes feel like the question being asked that they could just sit there and click on approve. They certainly didn't pay any attention to the detail in the coding, right? So you can turn that off. There's a setting in the user maintenance screen where you can just check a box for dashboard view only. Then your approvers can still view from the dashboard, and they can check those boxes you see in Dawn's screenshot on the left, that if they just want to go in and approve invoice 1, 3, 5, and 7, they could check those boxes, edit selected, and that'll bring up those invoices in the traditional approval screen where they will see the detail. So dashboard view only will give them dashboard but can't approve from it, and unchecked they can approve.
Yep, I'm leaving it on that last screen right there. It has Dawn's email address, which she was so kind to provide. So if you want to huddle up with Dawn afterwards, there you go. That's how you get a hold of her.
Yeah.
It's out there now.
That's all right.
All right. If there's any more questions for Dawn, let us know. There's one more. We'll come right back to it. Let me read off our winner. Actually, let me count it off. Hey, Gary, do you want to, it looks like Jean is answering that question, but do you want to read it aloud for Dawn while I do our drawing?
Is there a way to limit who can access the dashboard by role? Yeah, with the it's not real new, but with the roles-based system, yeah, roles are just a way to default permissions that then filter down to every user that has that role. So yeah, the hide dashboard or dashboard view only is a permission in the role, but however, you can change that on any particular user if you want to give it to some people who have that role but not others. Okay.
Thank you. If that one wasn't for you after all, Dawn.
That's all right.
Yeah, let's see. So it is 2:28 Eastern. At 2:30, we have capture. So for those of you who have been waiting all day to learn more about capture from Sandra, she will be on in just a couple minutes. But again, I want to give a huge thank you to Dawn for being here today, taking time out of her busy schedule as the president of TUG and holding down a desk job while being a grandmother of 3 perfect grandchildren.
Perfect.
Tell me how you do it.
Don't sleep. Just don't sleep.
Oh. Well then, there you have it. No, we really appreciate it, and we can't wait to see you again, hopefully in Vegas at the TUG National Conference.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Thank you.
Good to see you again, Dawn.
Thank you.
Sandra's ready to go. Our winner, real